The IRS. When we hear those three letters, most people cringe and they get on the defense. They believe that they are in trouble. Well, the IRS has come a long way, and there are many programs, services, and tips that they'd like you to know about. We'll be discussing some of them in this program. My guests are Brenda Stuart-Luke, Betzaida Bailey, and Sandra Bispham. Welcome to Brooklyn 45.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The IRS seems to be moving away from the mean agency. When did they make a change in the way they engage with the community and with taxpayers?
Well, after RRA 98, a lot of things started to change, and we are the friendlier IRS in that we want to help individuals understand the tax law, and we promote volunteer compliance. So our job is to provide tax education and help people to stay in volunteer compliance.
Education. How do you provide this education?
Well, education is provided by all agencies within the IRS. We are going out to do outreach events to let the taxpayer community know what resources we have available. We're hiring as well. So we're going out to the underserved communities, to practitioner events, you know, to the programs such as these. We're going out so they could see faces. They could see faces of people that they could relate to, and they could, you know, get away from that bad image that we have, and that we're here to help them. So we are in the community so that they could see us, and we are visually in the community. We're partnering with different organizations, different programs, the libraries, going out to the homeless shelters, going out to the welfare centers, going out to the businesses, and just partnership with different community-based organizations so that they know that what programs we offer.
Yes, we partner with the faith-based groups, the community leaders, and we help them to understand. We provide, it's almost like a train-the-trainer type program so that we help them to understand the important rules and so that they can share that information with the community in which they serve. So we make ourselves available at a time that's good for the partner, and we enjoy being invited to be a part of your program and into the community.
If a taxpayer owes a significant amount of money to the IRS, how would the IRS like to engage with them, and what options do they have?
Well, one of the things that we would want to tell an individual, whether they owe a lot of money or not, is first of all, they should open the envelope. I mean, a lot of times the money adds up because of the fact they haven't opened the envelope, and we tell them that there's ways that they can make installment agreements, as well as we have the process of the offer and compromise. So it's like we want to help people to understand that IRS is not just after them, and they're not just ready to put them in jail, but we do have options in which they can relate to the IRS. And we just want to meet with them and understand how did it happen and how we can work together to make a resolution.
Explain this offer in compromise some more.
The Offer and Compromise program is a program that IRS has that helps individuals that perhaps that owes quite a bit of money, but due to circumstances that they may not be able to pay the money back. So it gives them an opportunity to offer the government a certain amount of money based on their collection statement or a statement where they talks about their finances. And instead of the total amount that they may owe, they can offer the government a significant amount. And we have offer and compromise tools online where a person can go in online to actually go into the qualifier to determine if they are eligible and the amount that they can offer.
Another challenge that taxpayers have is they get their taxes done through a third party. What percentage of taxpayers do this?
I'm not sure about the percentage, but I know it's a whole lot because most people are scared to even look at the forms to fill them out. Sometimes you ask them to fill the entity section where they're asking for their name and they're like, whose name, what name? And so, yes, a good percentage of them are going to someone else to get it done.
Do a lot of taxpayers get their taxes done through that someone else, through a third party?
Yes. And it's not only just the private industry or like the CPAs or lawyers or whoever, but as with us, we also have free tax, free, and I will say that again, free tax prep help that can also help the consumer. And for the most part, it is the ones who are not able to pay the money to get it done that are the ones going out to someplace else to get it done. So when IRS, and this has been around now for about 50 years, we have a program where we call it the VITA and TCE program. VITA stands for Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, and TCE is Tax Consultant for the Elderly. Now, combining those two, we have quite a few people that come back year after year and get their taxes done. They even bring their children, and their children bring their children. So sometimes it's a whole 3 generations, 4 generations that come to a site and get their taxes done. And this is all for free. And since we are in full disclosure, there also New York State also has programs that are free that also assist taxpayers also.
Many people use irs.gov to be able to do things on their own. And that's your website. So tell us how people do this and use your website to be effective in preparing their taxes.
Well, this
Okay.
year will,
Go ahead,
okay,
Brenda.
well, this year will be the first year we're part of a program where people will be able to go to irs.gov. We're part of a pilot program where they will be able to actually go to irs.gov and have their taxes done, completed through sending the document straight to IRS. And so we are part of a pilot here in New York. And that is how they use the IRS system. And if they owe, they can also use the system to make an installment agreement where they don't have to go to the office, but they can all do all this online. So we are promoting a lot of digital tools to help the taxpayer educate themselves so that they do not necessarily have to go to a third party.
Okay. Betzaida, I see you shaking your head a lot. Feel free to.
We also have free file, so they could go on the IRS website to do free file and prepare their own tax returns, because the problems that we run into is that a lot of individuals are paying to get their taxes done, and the preparers are not signing the returns. They're put in self-prepare. So they're paying someone to do their taxes, and the person is not signing the returns, which they should be signing the returns. And if they get audited or there are problems with the returns, sometimes we have these fly-by-night preparers that only open up during the tax filing season. So the audits usually come after, and when the taxpayer community is looking for these supposed reputable individuals, they're nowhere to be found.
We often see or hear about the EITC. Explain what this EITC is and the child tax credit. What are these?
Okay, well, the earned income tax credit. I remember when it started, they used us to call it free money. But these days, more people come when they ask, how do I get the earned income tax credit? Well, the earned income tax credit is a credit that is also refundable. And along with that, it is given to people who, as I said before, it says earn income. So that means you have had to have some kind of earned income. Now, because of that, the government figures, the money that they made wasn't enough to suffice them for the year, them or their families. So they made the earned income tax credit. Now, to tell you about this, it's for low to moderate income workers with qualifying children, And not always do it have to be with qualifying children. It could be just the individual tax person, the person that is filing their taxes, that does not have enough money to make that requirement. So they can get it on their own if you're single or whatever, or a two family person, married couple. They can also get it if they don't have enough money made for the year. But most of the time you find that it is the people that have children that they're responsible for that will come in to get earned income tax credit. It is usually for people who make less than $60,000. You cannot have investment more than $10,300. I believe this year it's the same thing. You also have to verify that you have a social security number. Be a resident or a US citizen and not have foreign earned income. And most of the time, certain rules, if you are separated from your spouse and not filing a joint tax return, you are usually neglected. But the last 2 years or so, they have made exceptions for that also. So it's not a hard and fast rule to say, well, you only if you got children, you can get it. But it encompasses the whole gamut.
And let's get to the other part of my question, the child tax credit. Who'd like to talk about this?
Brenda, if you want to.
Go ahead,
All
Sandra.
right, Ken, you want me to continue? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so the child tax credit is a credit for people who are, again, like I will say, they file their taxes and they come between a certain moderate to low income. And the child tax credit is like, what, $2,000 that they get. The child has to be under the age of 17 when they're eligible for it. And what else can we tell you about the child tax credit? We have, for 2021, I believe, we had given additional monies to that account, and they were like 33,000 or 3,600 that they received, but now it's back to the original of getting the 2,000 for each child that is eligible for it. So you can have it where it is 1 child, 2 child, 3, up to 3, they will count as that amount of money. And after 3, they don't really count anymore, because then that's the maximum that they cut off at. So, but you can also get that money and you must have that social security number again, like I said, or the TIN, when you are ready to file your tax return. Even if you're doing for an extension, you must have it when you're ready to file that return, or by the due date, I should say, of that return. So you can't have it after and then say, yes, I had it before, so I'm doing it now after the fact. So yes, that's one of the rules also that was changed.
What other tax credit programs do you have that can benefit a taxpayer?
Okay, with us, we also have the child and dependent care expenses. That one is where you have you're either working or looking for work, and that additional income also goes towards you as a credit. Sometimes it could be for a spouse because the spouse might be disabled or something, and they can use it towards that. So it's not always just for a child or something, because most people look at it that it's for a child, but it could be for a spouse also. Both of them must have some kind of income. If they're going to school, they will also give you an amount of money that would include for that person who is going to school. So that's another credit that you can get. Also is children that are over the age of 17 now, or I guess you say 17 and over, that you're still claiming on your tax return. We also call it the other dependent credit. Yes, and they can get $500 also for that child. So there's a whole lot of credits out there. And if you are going to college, then we also have the American Opportunity Tax Credit. And even if you're someone that is just taking courses or something, you don't want to do college and you don't think that's for you, you can also do the lifetime tax credit if that applies also to you. So there are 2 other credits that you can also get. with the American Opportunity Credit, each eligible student in your household or that you have on your tax return, say you had a twin going to college, both of them are eligible for that up to that 2,500 credit. With the LLC, which is the lifetime learning credit, you only get up to 2,000 per return. So that's where you can balance and see where it is that you want to go as a family.
That's a lot of information. I believe that our viewers are taking notes, and if they've missed anything, they can just go to your website.
Yes, very much so. Put in IRS.gov, and in the search engine, just put in whatever topic it is that they need to research. That's the best way I can tell you to do it. They're direct, stuff that people have, but that's the easiest way to do it. IRS, www.irs.gov. And in the search engine, put in the subject matter that you're looking for, and all the information would be there for you.
Okay. We are now in the information age.
Yes. And there's no turning back.
Yeah, that's what we keep hearing. There is no turning back. What tips can you provide to those persons who are self-employed?
Well, for individuals that are self-employed, it's important for them to know that they should make estimated tax payments. And because they're not issued W-2s like someone working for someone else, they are self-employed. So they have to make estimated tax payments. Also, I would say this would be for someone self-employed as well as having a small business. It's important for them to keep good records, because if they're going to claim certain things, it's important for them to have the receipt. And we would say for everyone that's filing a return, ultimately, they need to recognize it's their tax return. And when they sign it, it's under perjury that they're signing it and saying it's correct. So whether they go to a third party to do it or they do it, it's important for them to recognize it's their return. And whatever's put down on that return, they should have the backup documentation to support what's being put down.
I'm not a tax attorney. I'm not a CPA. I go for persons for help. But I've heard about a VITA program, VITA. What is that?
Okay, that's what I started telling you about in the beginning. The VITA program is a free program that we have partnered with people in the communities to prepare. We train them to prepare other people's returns. And like I said, it's all free. You can even put out the program if you collect money from them. Some people like to say, give you a tip or something. It's not allowed. So please don't force it on them when they say no, they can't take it. It's for a reason, because they have agreed through ethics training that they will not take anything for doing that tax return. Like I said, some people they limit themselves to the 60 and under as wages, but some people go above that. Also with the TCE program, which is the tax consultant for the elderly, they also do returns. But their returns are a little more complicated, especially with retirements and stuff that people have and the other investments that they will have. So they are a little more, I guess, savvy and their tax return and doing tax returns for the elderly. So those are the two programs. Now, with the partnering, I would say this, and I'll say it out, so anybody listening can be a part of it. They're still looking for volunteers. So if you would like to volunteer to do taxes and learn and that a skill, why not? We're looking for them. And if there are partners out there who can have, even if it is just space or have computers that they can lend someone else to come in and do returns, we will welcome them also. So we take it from any area we can get. We're all part of the community. So anything you give is certainly welcome.
There are many immigrants descending upon New York City. What should they be aware of?
One of the things that I would say, we do presentations with immigrant groups and community leaders, is to make sure that they're eligible for the correct document or the correct type of program. IRS talks about the individual taxpayer identification number, which is better known as the ITIN. The ITIN is eligible for people that's been in this country 183 days or more and that have a tax filing purpose. It is an IRS issued number. And again, they are not eligible for a social. From doing prior outreach with Homeland Security as well as Social Security, a lot of these individuals that are just coming into the country, they're in another type status. So for individuals getting an ITIN, they must have a prepared tax return along with completing a W-7 application where they have to supply and provide foreign status and identity, and they must have a photo ID. So, a standalone document to show that is a valid passport. So nothing should be expired. So these are presentations that we go out to the community. We work with faith-based and community leaders in the community to help these individuals to see that these are free services that IRS offer, and we want to help them on the pathway the right way.
People who have outstanding debt to the IRS, how do you help with such issues?
I would say first of all, that they should not be scared to go to an IRS office or make an appointment to see someone if they're having issues. Even the advocate that's right here with us tonight, they help people with the hardships and stuff that they come under. So it is not something where they said you owe and that's the end of it. No, we try to help you and understand how you got into that situation. Sometimes it might be that you put the wrong things in the wrong places or whatever, even on the tax return. So that's the first thing too, making sure that your tax return was right. And then you might not even owe money. So that's why it is important that you go talk to someone. You know, if you're scared to do it, I mean, there are other people that is not the auditor or whoever that would also help you. So even the tax sites that we talk about, the vital program and stuff, some of them will even go over your tax return and says, okay, let's see what you did or didn't do. Okay, Betsy.
If they having problems with the IRS and they keep running into a wall, they keep calling the telephone numbers and keep getting hung up and they experiencing any type of hardship, they could come to the Taxpayer Advocate Service. So the Taxpayer Advocate Service is an independent organization within the IRS. We're here to protect taxpayer rights and help them with their tax problems. We help individuals, businesses, and tax exempt organizations. It's free. Free, like I've been saying earlier, we don't charge anything. They could come directly to us. They don't have to go through a tax preparer or a tax attorney. They could just come to us, and once they come to us and we accept the case, we will assign them a case advocate who will work one-on-one with the individual until the issue is resolved. And they could find information on taxpayeradvocate.irs.gov. Like Sandra said, all the resources are on the IRS page, or they could call 877-777-4778. We have Taxpayer Advocate office in every state, and the state of New York has 5 offices. One in Manhattan, which covers Manhattan, the Bronx, Westchester County, Yonkers. We have a Brooklyn Taxpayer Advocate who covers Brooklyn, Queens, parts of Long Island. We have a Long Island office, which covers Long Island. We have an office in Albany and an office in Buffalo. So the state of New York has 5 offices. And we have offices in every state, including the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico.
We don't have enough time to talk about programs for small businesses. We're going to invite you back so that we can deal with making sure that our small businesses survive and flourish and do very well, and then don't have to be afraid. You know, I've been hearing this word free quite a bit tonight. And people People don't associate the IRS with free at all. They always think that the IRS is going to take their money. Although there are many people watching this program who do get returns and get monies back from the CRS, from the IRS. What did I say? The CRS.
That's okay.
We've got 30 seconds left. So let me leave it to any of you who would like to reinforce what we just talked about. We only got 30 seconds, so only one person can talk.
I just wanted to add, the fact is, a lot of the small businesses has put in for the employee retention credit. It's important for them. We have an opportunity for them if they want to go back and re-examine that, as well as making people aware if they're automobile dealer, there are certain credits that we have available for that. So please visit our website and invite us back to be a part of your meeting. We're free. We come as a trio. So thank you.
Okay, not free, but
we're free.
Free. Come as a trio.
Right, that's true.
I want to thank you for being our guest here on Brooklyn 45. As you said, and as I said earlier, we're going to have you back. So look out for our call, or you can call us and say we're ready to be back. And we're going to come back in any event very soon to talk about what support there is for small businesses. Thank you, Brenda Stewart. Thank you, Brenda Stuart-Luke. Betzaida Bailey. Betzaida, did I get your name correct?
Yes, you did.
Oh, okay. And thank you, Sandra Bispham.
Yes.
Thank you all for being our guests here on Brooklyn 45.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for inviting us. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda Stuart-Luke, Betzaida Bailey, and Sandra Bispham. And we thank you, our viewers, for watching this program. We invite you to partner with Brooklyn 45. You can do this in so many different ways. We are a 501c3 community television program, and when you support us, you benefit, and our communities benefit from our programs. So please tell your friends, families, and colleagues to watch our Brooklyn 45 TV programs on cable TV and on YouTube. And please support what we do. Be a part of what we do. On behalf of our Brooklyn 45 team, I'm Sam Taitt.
Brooklyn 45 is a 501c3 not-for-profit, and we welcome your support. Check out our website, brooklyn45.com, and feel free to donate or share it with your friends and family. Have any comments or questions? Send them to our Facebook, facebook.com/Brooklyn45TV. If you have any questions or topics you think we should cover next, shoot me an email over at brooklyn45tv@gmail.com. Thank you again for watching.